Hey guys, I've been extremely busy and haven't done a video in a while, so just in case you have been living under a rock, I'm sure you heard that we just GA'd 6.7 U1. So today, I just wanted to walk you through some new features and additions in U1. I would not blog too much about it since there's plenty written about it in detail, so I thought I would just show you a walkthrough. And in any case, if you haven't read it, I will also leave the links below. So first things first, we've made some improvements in health check. So let's go there. You know how in the past we have issues with, let's for example say I have a home server, where you have SCSI controller like this is not certified, and it's just quite annoying. You get the little amber thing all the time. So in the past we needed to go to command line and silence the alert, but now we have that. So it's fairly straightforward. Click silence, go yes, and should be done. Do a retest. There you go. Right, all done. Okay, so we also had challenges in the past where you have online checks and it was continuously kind of complaining when you didn't have internet connectivity. I know some customers have dark sites where vSAN doesn't have network connectivity, so now you can have this silence as well. Actually, technically defaults to silence if you didn't have network connectivity. So that's pretty good. So the next thing we want to look at is proactive tests. We used to have a couple of proactive tests, one of them being VM creation tests and another one being multicast. Obviously, we have done away with multicast and we removed multicast tests as part of the last 6.7 release. But we've added a new test here called network performance test. So essentially what it does is that it tests bandwidth between each of those hosts, gives you a feel of what exactly the maximum bandwidths those hosts are capable of achieving. So it's a pretty nice addition there. Next, I wanted to kind of touch on configure. So on the configure and the services, so there's a new tab here called advanced options. In the past, a lot has been said about object repair delay and how you need to make changes to it if you needed to extend or reduce it. So we made it very obvious here now. You can go edit and you can manually change this. So you can change it to up to, if I'm not mistaken, 9699. I believe that's the maximum you can change it to. So there you go, 9699. Comes to about 6.5 days, thereabouts. Not too sure why 6.5 days, but yeah, that seems to be the maximum. So if you want it, you can change it. Otherwise, I'll put it back to 60 for my cluster. Just on the topic of resyncing being 60 minutes, what we've also made some changes and improvements on was on monitor under resyncing objects. So if you go there now, you actually see a new tab or new option here called scheduled resyncing. So effectively what happens here is if you have a failure, it tells you when the next resync will kick off. Alternatively, you can repair immediately, go resync now. So let's put this in maintenance mode and we can see that happen. So go OK. Resyncing objects. As you can see, it's 68 objects. We'll resync at midnight somewhat today. Okay. You can click resync now to repair immediately. In this case, I do not actually want to do that, so I'll put it back and exit maintenance mode. Then a nice thing that we made is under capacity. So under capacity, you will see the usual where we show how much is used, how much is dedupe overhead, how much if you didn't have it disabled for dedupe, and what's actually consumed. So we also added this thing called free usable capacity policy. So this is more of a what if policy. Unfortunately, I have a really small cluster that is not compatible with RAID 5. Assuming you did have RAID 5, but selecting RAID 5, it updates this value here to give you an estimate of what the actual usable is going to be. So that's pretty nice. We also have capacity history. Unfortunately, I had to reset up my vCenter yesterday, hence I don't actually have much history, so it's going to prompt an error here. Assuming you've had one, it will actually show you capacity given a period of time and how you'll be tracking. So we also try to make things a lot easier when you want to start up a new cluster. So for example, if I go here to add a new cluster, so let's call this new cluster, assuming you want to turn on vSAN and go next. What's going to happen here, we have a new quick start tab here. All you need to do, cluster basics, select the services vSAN. If you want it, you can have DRS, etc., etc. Go add. I kind of like this feature. So you can put in multiple host names and add them all at one go. So that's pretty nice addition. Makes things a lot easier. I haven't got anything new to add, but just kind of wanted to show you this new GUI here. If you're done with that, go configure or revalidate. Bang, done. Makes setting up a new vSAN cluster a lot easier. The last thing I wanted to show here is safeguards and guardrails around maintenance mode. So for example, if I were to take this host again into maintenance mode, it actually shows you a little bit of information of what's the impact of when we ensure accessibility or even full data migration or no data migration. So assuming I went to ensure accessibility, click OK, that would put obviously the host in maintenance mode. But we all know that it could be potentially detrimental to the cluster if you went and do another maintenance mode. So in the past, we don't actually do checks, so administrators need to be wary of what's in maintenance mode. But now we actually prompt to make sure that, hey, are you really sure this is what you want to do? So that's a nice guardrail there. That's the end of my short walkthrough. There are a lot of improvements in this release, from support, these efficiencies to performance tweaks we made under the hood, so on and so forth, which you guys can read all about. Again, I will leave the links below. I hope this has been informational for you guys. So till next time, thanks for watching.